What's going on, guys? We're back at you with another video. Today we got Lincoln and his dad here to talk about the racing incident, the crash. So Lincoln, tell us what happened.
So pretty much the race day, it was the last race of the day, and we were about to take off whole shot. Once we took off, we went around the corner. Some kid got pushed off the track, and around the corner before the triple, he tried to pull back on. He slid out, wrecked. That made another kid wreck, and then I hit him. I got chucked off on my bike, and my bike landed on top of me.
So in the clip where the kid, you were talking about the clip that I had where the kid actually goes off the track. Is that the kid you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was the first one to wreck.
Okay.
And then that made another kid wreck, and then I hit the second kid that wrecked.
Okay. And you got tangled up in somebody's bike.
My bike landed on top of me.
I got you. So did you know as soon as it happened, like, okay, this ain't, like, tell us about it. What did you feel and what was you thinking? And
as soon as my bike landed on top of me, I thought my leg was broken.
Did you?
Because I couldn't move it. And then once we were sitting there, everything was going so fast. Because my dad was telling me how we were laying on the track for like an hour or something like that. It felt like 5 minutes to me. Everything was going so fast. We got put in the ambulance, and on the way there, I couldn't feel my leg, my arm, and then everything started to slowly, all my feelings started to come back. It started hurting really bad.
Right. Now, Rick, what, as a parent, what was going through your head, and what was your thoughts?
So I didn't get to see the wreck. I actually, once they take off from the whole shot, I ride over to the other part of the track so I can watch them. I had ridden over there, and I saw Lincoln was, towards the back of the pack when he took off and made that whole shot. So I saw kids coming around. Lincoln's got that white helmet. I always look for his white helmet, and I never saw it. And I was like, man, I wonder if he went down. And I noticed a bunch of other kids weren't coming around. Then I saw the red flag, and I was like, oh no. So I saw him start to reset the race, and I rode back over there. By the time I got over there, they had already picked up Lincoln's bike. I threw the bike I was riding down, and I ran over to him. And, running up to him, it's like you see him laying there, you don't know what happened.
Right.
You're like, is this really bad? How bad is this? Obviously he's hurt.
Right.
So I got there, and, I didn't first start talking to Lincoln. I just started asking, because the medic lady was there. I forget her name. But, I was like, what's going on with him? Like, talk to me, And she's like, we don't know yet. He won't talk to us. He won't say anything to us. So I started talking to Lincoln. I'm like, bud, you got to tell me where it hurts, what hurts. And it's like everything. He's like, my shoulder hurts, my arm hurts, my knee hurts, my leg hurts,
Everything hurts.
Right. So they're like, what do you want to do? They're asking me what I want to do. And I'm like, well, let's see if he can, because I don't know, is his leg broke? I mean, he's gone down before and then shook it off and got up and walked away,
Right.
And so I'm like, I don't know. They really wanted to get a good look at his knee and his leg, and right off the rip, she's like, it looks deformed. And I'm like, deformed? What does that mean? Like,
Right.
That's just a scary thing to hear. So I could tell by looking at it, it was super swollen. It had already started bruising up. And I'm like, okay, that's bad.
Right.
So by that point, I was like, just call the ambulance, And so in hindsight, I wish I would have just told him earlier, but, it took a while. I think he laid there for, I don't know, at least 45 minutes from the time he wrecked to the time the ambulance got there. Mm-hmm. Is the way I remember it. And so anyway, they were talking, they were going to pick him up in an ambulance, drive him to get air care down. Well, they wanted to take him to Indianapolis, and I'm like, no, go to Children's Hospital in Cincinnati. I was actually trying to get him to go to Westchester, but they wouldn't. So we got in the end, it's putting him on that bodyboard. I mean, I don't know if you got video of all that and all that. Just watching your kid get loaded up like that and, put on stretcher and everything. It just, you don't know. You know, you
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
scary.
One, you're like, man, my kid's really hurt, and
Right.
you don't want him to hurt. And two, you don't know what's going to happen. So, loaded us up into the thing, and you know, as a dad, I'm stressed out. I'm like, my truck's here, all our gear's here. We haven't packed up. We haven't done anything. You know, how's all this going to get home? Plus, I'm super worried about Lincoln. That's my number one, priority. So I asked Jeremy to load all our stuff up, and I'm thankful for all our friends that helped out because, you know, the Cubs and Braden's dad and then Braden loading everything up for us and just taking that stress off me. But the whole way there, you know, I'm trying to think of like, I don't know what time we're going to get home. Like I told you, I didn't want the trailer parked out front and somebody just ganked the bikes.
Right.
You know, so, you know, I'm trying to organize all this. I don't have service. So it was just super stressful. It was a long ride to Children's Hospital. They didn't end up air carrying him. A lot of people still think that he got air carried. They just drove us there in the ambulance, and which, you know, was fine for me. I didn't care as long as we got there. But once we got to Children's Hospital, it was like a dozen people just on him. They cut his shirt off of him. They cut everything off of him. And, you know, it just, all these people just feeling his neck, feeling his, you know, everything, just trying to, does this hurt? Does that hurt? Does this hurt? You know, and they're just trying to be thorough.
Right.
Because, you know, all they know, you know, when they got there, it was told an ATV accident, which wasn't true. It was a dirt bike accident, you know, so it was a lot of just trying to figure things out. So it was a long night, but, you know, thankfully nothing was broken. But we still had to go to the ortho to find out if he had any ligament damage or any, you know, other things that may, you know, growth plate injuries or that he needed, you know, further medical attention. So we didn't do that until, when did we go to the ortho? 3 days later, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday we went to the ortho, and she took a bunch of more x-rays of his knee, because she was afraid, because he still right now can't bend it to its full capacity without it hurting. She was worried about ligament damage, but so far there's nothing that he needs surgery on. And then so he starts physical therapy on that knee. So that first night home, we were there till 11 o'clock at night. So I think this accident happened at 2 p.m. We didn't leave Children's Hospital till 11 p.m. And we didn't get home till almost midnight. And that first night, you know, he was in so much pain. He couldn't sit still. He couldn't, you know, sleep right. He had to sleep upright. He couldn't lay flat. And, you know, we had him on 2 different pain medications that were alternating. Plus, we're putting these lidocaine patches on him on where it hurts the most. So it was just super stressful as a dad to go through. So it was stressful and emotional. But, I mean, he's good now. I mean, he's still walking around like an old man, which is, you know, we joke about it and we have funny videos of it. But,
right.
You know, in the moment, it was pretty stressful.
So overall, Lincoln, right now, how do you feel as far as like healing up from your wreck?
I feel fine, and I'm really looking forward for next year.
Okay. I was getting ready to ask you about future plans.
So you racing next year?
Yeah.
So you are racing next year? He's on an RM85 right now. You guys are selling that, I guess? And
We're selling the Sapuki. And I'm trying to get him to go Team Green, but he wants to go Yamaha, KTM, or what was the other bike?
KTM, YC.
What class? What are you guys going to be riding?
I think we're going to buy 2 bikes, a 125 and a 250F. We're going to get a 125 2-stroke and a 250F. And whichever one he prefers to race, and I think he'll just either race Schoolboy, 250D, I don't know, we'll try some things out. We've seen some gnarly wrecks.
Yeah.
And, you know, we understand the, you know, the risk that is involved in this sport. And, you know, as a father, I communicate that to my son, but I don't want to force him not to do something. You know, I think you and I talked about how sometimes you're just like, why don't you not do that? You know what I mean?
Right.
But at the same
Right.
time, you want them to push themselves and
Yeah.
learn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as a father, you want to keep your kid safe, but as a father, you also want to see your kid pursue their dreams.
Right.
And if
Right.
this is their passion, their love, then that's what I want them to do. You know?
Right. Definitely. And I think that we all need to thank Ryan and crew, the Live Your Dreams
Oh, yeah.
MX,
Yeah,
and
that
Haspin.
that
Without
series.
them,
Mhm.
I mean, without them, you know, these kids really wouldn't have a race program for their level right now. And they do a great job. And every race this year got better and better and better.
Yeah.
And so his program, props to you, Ryan. Doing a great job out there, so thank you.
For sure.
So guys, there you have it. That's the update on Lincoln, and somewhat of what will happen in the near future. So with all that being said, we'll catch you on the next video.